You're listening to 5 Minute Feng Shui, podcast episode 191, Honoring Your Yin Energy. Welcome to the 5 Minute Feng Shui podcast, where each week I talk about how to move energy and make money. You'll learn how to create a prosperous home and an abundant life using classical Chinese Feng Shui. I'm your host, Katie Weber, publisher of the Red Lotus Letter, Feng Shui Easing for Wealth. Each week, I'll cover Feng Shui topics that can help you improve your life, share inspiring stories, and always end with 3 easy-to-implement Feng Shui tips that you can put to work right away, and usually in about 5 minutes. Now let's get started on the 5 minutes that could change your life. Hello, my gorgeous Feng Shui friend. We are talking about Yin Energy today. But before we start that, I want to mention that this is podcast episode 191, as you heard. Gosh, I can't believe it. Almost 200 episodes in. We're getting there. And wow, from something that I started when we were living in Mexico, from a little corner office and a microphone. And my husband said he'd mix everything for me. And, you know, it's amazing what this journey has brought. It's been a wonderful thing to do. I look forward to it every week. It gives me a chance to talk to you and connect with you. And if you listen to me maybe you listen to me on a walk or while you're jogging or running errands, I'd love to know. Send me a note. Let me know when you listen. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. I'd love to know when you listen, because I just am curious. Am I along for the ride on a long trip with you? Or maybe you're listening on an airline flight. I hope so. And speaking of airline flights, I'm so excited because tomorrow we are going on a vacay, 2 weeks in Ireland. We're also going to have a few days in Amsterdam, and I am ready to just get off the hook for a couple of weeks, just to have time doing nothing but what we want to do, going nowhere but where we want to go. I'm really excited about it. You know, today, Tim and I were talking about our vacation that's coming up, and we went on our morning walk together. I always love it when he can join me. We were on our walk, and I saw this beautiful hawk come sailing down low right by us and landed in a tree that we were walking toward. And it just stood there so grand on the limb. And it was close to us. I think it was a juvenile. I don't know. But we walked up to it, and we were in the street. The tree was about 15 feet away, and the branch was about 10 feet up. We were so close to it. It just looked at us. I asked him to take a picture, and he took a picture, and the hawk just stood there. And I thought how beautiful this creature was, how amazing, such eyesight, such precision they have. And it made me think about our vacation, because we're actually going to visit Ashford Castle. And if you are a fan of the TV show Reign, Reign, and I was when I watched it, loved watching that show, loved the glorious costumes, loved the beautiful settings. It was often filmed in Ashford Castle. And we are going to be doing what is called a hawk walk, where you go and you hold birds of prey. They come and take food from your hand, and I cannot wait to do that. We were trying to decide if we could fit it in. We had such a narrow window of time to go there and to do this. And we just said, we're going to make it happen. One way or the other, we're going to make it happen. And this hawk rewarded us with this magnificent opportunity to see it so close and right in front of us, and never seemed to worry or flinch. You know, that's the security that an amazing bird of prey has. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today, is an amazing energy, and that is that white tiger. The white tiger is the celestial symbolism of yin energy. So we have the dragon, which is a symbol of the east. If we look at, there's called 4 celestial guardians, and they represent the 4 points of the compass. The black tortoise is the north, the dragon is the east, the phoenix is the south, and the white tiger is the west. And the dragon represents that yang energy, and the tiger represents the yin energy. Yang would be the male energy typically, and yin is the female energy. And when it comes to the type of energy it has, it's protective. Now, this is interesting because in the West, this is the corner of children. And the white tiger, think about it. What is more protective? What's more ferocious in the animal kingdom than a mother bear, a mother lion, a mother tiger? So that protectiveness of the white tiger is what we're talking about today. And also yin energy. Yes, even though we always talk about yang energy, we need yin energy, right? We do. That's what a vacation is. It's not, you're still going and doing, that's the yang energy, but it's also relaxing. It's not the same things that you do every day. You can wake up later. You can go where you want to go. You have space in your life to just go and enjoy and see and do things that you want. Now let's talk about how you can incorporate that yin energy and why it's so important to have that. We all need to have and honor that yin energy in our lives, because without it, we can't be that yang, go, 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 get it all done, cross off your checklist, that kind of stuff, if we don't have that space. And I want you to think about how important it is, because 1/3 of our day is spent in yin energy, which is what? Sleeping. Right? So we have to sleep. We have to have yin energy. We have to have energy every day by sleeping, but we also need it in our life in general. So let's talk about that. So as I mentioned to you, that white tiger in feng shui represents the west or the right-hand side of our home. So as you look out your front door, the dragon is on the left side, and the white tiger that's associated with courage, protection, and dignity is on the right side. Now, the white tiger brings good luck and fortune when it's represented by a small rise on the right side of your house, and is most associated with that compass direction of west. It is the yin to the dragon's yang. The white tiger will protect your home from negative forces, and it's sometimes associated with wealth too, because the god of wealth is often depicted riding a tiger, and he represents harnessing the tiger's strength and protective force. It's this protective quality of the white tiger that also allows us to move ahead in life. Now, when we don't protect our health, our time, and our plans, we can become swept up, right, in the tide of life, kind of bobbing around from activity to activity like a beach ball on the waves of the ocean. Now, this can stop you from feeling productive and prosperous as you'd like to be. And yes, stopping and being still can help you move ahead in your life and in your endeavors, including those that make you money. How so? Well, in today's society, we are the definition of yang energy, right? Hectic, busy, filled houses. Our minds are constantly going. We're constantly doing and going and being. All that doing and going means life can become stressed, overworked, harried, hassled, burned out. We are all bulbs shining too brightly. And this is where yin energy can help. We also have overly filled houses, right? Yin energy is often defined as darkness, stillness, and negative space. And it's most associated with the negative energy of stillness and decline. But let's talk about the plus side to yin energy. This is something I often talk about in my feng shui group, in my feng shui forecast every year. I talk about all energies, even the good ones, have a negative side. All the negative energies sometimes have a positive side. Too often, we only see our doing as worthwhile, and we place too little value on the being. And it's that space inside a vase, the emptiness of the vase, that makes it capable of holding water. I know that's some deep stuff, right? But it's true. And we have to have that empty space in our life and in us. There's value in yin energy, and using it wisely is going to help you in your home, in your life, and in your business. I know it does me. When I take time off, every time I take time off, I come back refreshed. When I make space in my life, it allows this sort of creative force to come in. Things that I couldn't see my way clear on, things that I wasn't sure what to do. I felt indecisive. I felt worked, overwhelmed. Once I take a vacation or take some time off, it's amazing how just having that empty space can help me feel more creative. So let's talk about the white tiger. Now, this is the side, the west is associated with the creative side of our homes and lives. Think about it. That's where children come from, right? They're our creation. It's the part of our lives that we often see neglected, right? We trudge through our daily lives and put our creative selves back on the back burner. We just think creativity and spontaneity is just going to come from somewhere. And we forgo those things that are meaningful to us in favor of getting to work, paying the bills, doing the laundry, mowing the grass. But it's the creative side of us that can be the most fulfilling and most meaningful. But there's also a lesson of the white tiger about protection. And being protective of your creative side is not selfish. It's an important part of honoring yourself and what's important to you. And I see this all the time with people who come to my master consultant course when I was teaching those, or who I consult with on the phone. I acknowledge their need for personal fulfillment and self-growth. But that's not to say that I don't recognize the need to get out of your day-to-day activities and get those accomplished. But there needs to be room in your life for what feeds your creative desires and interests. And what's all that work for, right? I like to think all that work is for, I can take a vacation and it can be nice and I enjoy it and I take plenty of time off and I take more than one vacation. I like 2 or 3 in a year. And that's my optimum vacation time. I like to have time off because it helps me feel replenished. It opens up that clear space that lets me be creative and keep growing. It's sort of like having a plant that's outgrown its pot. Once you put it into a new pot, it has space. It has that extra room. Now, it hasn't filled up the pot yet, but it has room to grow. And when I have space in my life, it gives me room to grow. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. So let's talk about some of the other ways you can use yin energy and that white tiger. Let's talk about reacting. Let's stop reacting and start reflecting. Now, the value of yin energy shows you not to overreact when you're in that constant state of readiness. It's easy not to overreact. Excuse me, replace that. Rather than pouncing on your next request or the next problem, take a moment to reflect on how you want to respond. You may find you just don't want to respond at all. This is an especially important concept, especially if you have a hard time saying no, or if people push your buttons easily, especially like when you're overstressed. Maybe your drug of choice is drama, and all that drama is draining for you and for others. And it can cause you to gain weight because you release cortisol when you have excess anger or emotion. Pull back. Instead of responding, pull back. You don't have to have an answer. You can always say, let me think about that. I'll get back to you. Or, I'm not really ready to make that decision right now. That's okay. Let's also talk about balancing all your yang with some yin. Rather than overworking, whether that's in your personal or professional life or both, start doing what's reasonable. Learn to say no tactfully and set boundaries for yourself on all the people who encroach on your time and energy. Make sure that you sleep in the correct position too. Women should always sleep on the right side of the bed as you're in the bed, and the men go on the left. This is especially important for singles interested in finding a permanent partner. So women who sleep on the left can sometimes develop feminine-related illnesses such as low energy or libido, low testosterone, overburdened feeling, low thyroid, fibromyalgia, even breast and uterine cancer. Make sure you're sleeping on the right side of the bed, and by the right side, that's it if you're a woman, on the right side, and if you're a man, you're sleeping on the left side, and that's as you are in bed. This will help keep your yin and yang energy balanced as you're sleeping. Another thing to do that's a very white tiger thing to do is to be protective of yourself. The white tiger stands for defense. If someone's upset you, like makes an untrue statement about you, respond calmly and tactfully, but do respond. Not react, respond. Avoidance is a non-response. Women often fall into 2 camps. Those that are confrontational and those who avoid standing up for themselves. If you don't stand up for yourself, take a stand once. You'll gain confidence and it will build you up. If you are reactive and confrontational, take a moment to reflect and then calmly respond. That too builds you up and makes you less fearful of being reactionary. Now let's talk about protecting your thoughts. How many times a day do you say something like, I don't even have time to think, I don't have time to do this or that? The pressure on your mind means that you don't have time to dream, to plan, or to create. Then one day you wind up far from where you want to be in life and wondering how you got there. Schedule time to clear your desk, clear your thoughts, and have some completely unstructured time. I find that when I have my best, clearest thoughts, it's when I have unstructured time. It seems like that's most often when I'm on a plane or driving a long distance. If that's what you have to do to plan a car trip or a plane ride, take a notebook and jot down your thoughts. You need to have time to think. Otherwise, we're going to end up far from where we want to be. You also need to protect your visions. The wintertime, a lot of times, especially at the new year, is a good time to think about what you want in the year ahead. And this is always a good time to start out fresh and new, but any time of year is a good time to nurture your visions. It's a great time, anytime, to create a vision for yourself. Don't wait until the new year. Start now. Don't put yourself off and your vision of what you want most in your life or in the year ahead or in the next 5 years. Creating an internal vision of your mind is your very first step. Yang energy is when you act on that vision by writing it down or creating a vision board. But first you need that time and opportunity to think and to know what you want. It's really interesting sometimes with coaching clients. I'll ask them, well, what do you want? What? Especially business coaching. What do you want? Well, I want money. Well, no, I think what you want is a certain type of business or life that gets you the money. See, that's the problem, is we often think of the end result, not what creates that result. And you got to think on what creates the result, not the money. What's the business that you really want? Let's talk about protecting your time. Time is more valuable than money. Consider what's essential in your life and dedicate your time to it. Clear away the things that take up your time and energy and don't let anyone or anything encroach on it. For example, if someone mentions having lunch sometime, don't let that invitation just hang there. Say, that's great. How's next Tuesday? Remember, those maybes you live with are both psychic and energy draining. And if the person who always asks but doesn't act on your request, your immediate follow-through will cause that person to stop asking. So don't play along with those sort of things. Protect your time. If you want to do something, make the time right now and do it. Put time aside for important things. I know for a long time I put everyone and everyone else's needs in front of my own. And that's a common mom thing. But, one day I woke up and said, I've got to be putting on my oxygen mask first, right? They teach us that on airplanes. I should be doing it in my life. And that's why I started taking really good care of myself first, making sure that I spent time taking my morning walk, and it makes all the difference in the world. Protecting my time protects me and gives me a better life, which gives my family a better life. Now let's talk about protecting yourself. That means doing some basic things. Those obligations that you have to yourself, like flossing your teeth, taking those vitamins, scheduling those doctor's appointments. If you find that most of your time and energy is dedicated to everyone else but you, find a way to schedule time for yourself. And I mean schedule it. Put it in your phone's calendar, put it on an actual calendar, write it down, get it set, do whatever you need to do to make it more tangible. The more you put that in a schedule and you write it down and you put it down somewhere, even if it's on your phone, it makes a difference. So go ahead, set that weekly manicure or spa appointment or that morning hour at the gym. Acting on time commitments to yourself is one of the best ways to protect yourself in other areas of your life from the psychic drain of others on your time and energy, and also of all the things that are always pinging and coming at us to do. You've got to put yourself first. Doing that will build your confidence and protect you as well. All right. Well, we've been talking all about honoring your yin energy here as I get ready to honor mine for the next 2 weeks. Can't wait. All right. So let's talk about 3 tips 3 important tips I want you to take away from that. Tip number 1, create clear space in your life. Put it in a schedule, put it on a calendar, but create some clear space, whether that's going to the gym in the morning, a daily walk, scheduling vacations, scheduling time away, making date nights, making time just for you. Whatever it is that you need to do, make sure that there is some clear space in your life so that you can be creative and that you can honor your yang energy by having some yin space. Tip number 2, be protective. Protect your thoughts, protect your health, protect your visions and dreams. You are so worth it. Don't put those things off because it's putting your very life off. We don't want to do that. Tip number 3, be comfortable with saying no. Don't let people encroach on your boundaries. Don't let people encroach on your time and your spirit and your energy. Create some clear boundaries and create a way that you can comfortably learn to say no. Practice it if you need to. Sometimes saying no doesn't come easily to us. And if it doesn't come easily to you, try practicing different ways of saying no in a nice way. I guarantee you it's going to clear some of your calendar, some of your to-dos, and it's going to create some clear space in your life. Have a great week. I'll talk to you while I'm in Ireland. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of 5-Minute Feng Shui. If you did, please be sure to share this episode with your friends on social media, and let's change the world one home at a time. For more Feng Shui information and inspiration, sign up for my free weekly Feng Shui Easy. Just drop by redlotusletter.com to sign up, and I'll be in your inbox every Wednesday. And if you like this episode, I'd love it if you left a review on iTunes. If you do, send me the screenshot of your review to katie@redlotusletter.com with iTunes review in the subject line, and I'll send you a free gift as my thank you. I'll see you next week on the next episode of 5-Minute Feng Shui.